Our Omnia Roofing Night at the races presented by Food City started with our JB Auto Works Crown victorious and defending champion Charles Gunter making his return to the concrete jungle, settle into second behind Exit 50 Motorsports' Keith McMurray. Behind them, the JB Auto Works guards of Tyler Conway and Brandon Bruner would touch out of turn 4, nearly sending the 24 spinning as Gunter took the lead from the number 288. Later in the race, Conway would use the outside to his advantage, engaging in a side-by-side battle for second. This allowed Charles Gunter to pull away and take his first victory of 2025 in his first race back. But the skies were looking ominous as we lined up our RCR late models, and sure enough, the rain started to fall, forcing us to postpone the rest of the night to the following week after completing only one lap. When the race resumed the following week, it was Zeke Shell taking point over Keith Helton and Brad Housewright. The two would quickly find themselves locked in a side-by-side battle for second, with the advantage eventually going to Housewright. Shell would continue to dominate, with Housewright continuing to charge. Further back, the number 3 of Brad Teague and the number 05 of Lexi Arnold battled for position, but the veteran Teague's experience would pay off as he took the advantage. But the race by far belonged to Zeke Shell, who took his 4th win of the 2025 season. The Quality Heat and Air Mod 4s had Rocky Yates lead and Kevin Cantor quickly moving through the field as Chris Ambergy would battle Yates for multiple laps. At that same time, Cantor would find his way into 3rd and chasing down the leaders who were now in a plethora of lap traffic, making 3 wide splits to get by. Ambergy continued to battle, but Cantor was close behind, pressuring the number 17 for second and eventually moving by him on the inside. Ambergy would nearly push Cantor down the straightaway before the 3 leaders were separated by only a few car lengths. But the pressure was on, and Cantor knew he had to move quickly, splitting a lap car to take the lead against Yates as Ambergy gave him a bump from behind. Cantor would pull away to win the race in another thrilling finish for the Mod 4s. Dallas Morlock took an early lead in our JB Towing Pure 4s, but points leader Stephen Watts, after starting from the back, would quickly make his way inside the top 3. Further back, Randy Burt and Mike Craig made contact as the 48 of Burt drove deep into the corner. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd was heating up between the 11 of Kenny Absher, the 57 of David Animal Trent, and the 34 of Terry Welch, a battle that would last multiple laps and bring the number 09 of Frank Womack and the 48 of Burt right to the back of them. But the fun and games would end when the number 07 of Caleb Woodruff spun on his own. The restart saw Morlock lead with Watts right on his tail as Terry Welch overtook Animal for 3rd. As a 3-car battle ensued for the podium, our leaders were locked in a side-by-side of their own, with Watts getting inside Morlock to take the lead, only for the 29 to cross over and steal it back in the next corner. Watts would have another go on the next lap, but Morlock would dive into the corner and nudge the 05 out of 2. The final lap marked the final opportunity for Morlock to score that first win, using the bumper in turn 1 and diving deep into turn 3 to no avail as Stephen Watts won his 4th race in a row. Second twin for our RCR late model started with Brad Teague and Lexi Arnold continuing their battle for earlier, but this time for the lead as the 2 raced side by side for multiple laps. The Eventually, Keith Helton joined the mix and brought aggression as he struggled to get by the two leaders before a caution bunched up the field. On the restart, Helton would make a 3-wide move for the lead, knocking Teague and Arnold down multiple spots as Zeke Shell and Derek Lane would follow through. Now the battle was on between Helton and Shell, with the latter gaining the advantage and pulling away. Later, Alex Miller would challenge Derek Lane for third with an eager Brad Housewright ready to pounce, and that he did, moving by Lane and Alex Miller, who would use a nudge to get back into third. A short-lived third, that is, as Housewright would easily get by on the next lap. Unfortunately for Miller, trouble would strike as a blown tire took him out of contention. Now, let me tell you, the moon was full and tempers are about to flare. The restart had Zeke Shell leading as Helton and Housewright would make contact in the corner not once, not twice, but 3 times over the next few laps. Housewright would ultimately finish second, but neither driver was happy on the front stretch as push literally came to shove between the two drivers. Oh, and Zeke Shell won the race.
That right there is what makes fans come to this stand, man. Sometimes you barge up the wrong tree and get shoved.
The Herds Mowing Super Streets had chaos unfold immediately as 2 cars made contact and went synchronized spinning through the first corner. When the race restarted, Tristan Barnes led over Al Miller's number 4 as older brother Kyle Barnes started making 3-wide moves. At the front, Miller would pressure Tristan Barnes for the lead, while Kyle would move by Marty Tennell for third, eventually passing Al Miller before pressuring his brother for the lead. But the caution flew when Marty Robinson spun on his own in the middle of turn 3 and 4. It was Barnes versus Barnes when we restarted as the two brothers settled their sibling rivalry with these monsters of race cars. The younger Tristan Barnes would eventually pull away until a mechanical failure struck in the closing laps, giving his brother Kyle an easy route to victory. The JB Towing stock front-wheel drives had an exciting start with cars going 4 wide in the first corner, but it would all come crashing down in turn 4 with a 3-car incident that took out points leader Joshua Collins. The restart was a little more uniform with Roger Wright's number 9 fighting with Chip Moody's number 17 for the lead, but 3 wide would stay our phrase of the day, and Braxton Dean dove to the inside for 5th. As Chip Moody continued to fight for the lead, Sam Ferguson in the number 41 joined, putting our top 3 under a blanket. Fourth, Braxton Dean challenged inside Justin Wright as they raced side by side down the back straightaway. The front 2 cars had a side by side of their own as the 17 passed Wright on the inside, only for the number 9 to cross back over and eventually take the lead. Moody would hold strong on the outside for multiple laps, but a slip-up in turn 3 sent him dropping down the leaderboard until the number 19 of Keegan Lane brought out the caution. With the field bunched up, Wright and Ferguson fought for the lead as Braxton Dean and Chip Moody fought for third. As the battle battle raged on. Moody would gain the advantage, but contact from the 14 would send him hard into the outside wall. The final restart had Roger Wright, Sam Ferguson, and Justin Wright in the top 3, with Ferguson pushing the number 9 down the straightaway. But try as they might, they couldn't catch Roger Wright, who would take his first victory of 2025. Joey Sykes led our Herdsman Street Stocks, with Kirby Gobble quickly moving into second over Daniel McMurray, Ryan Lark, and Rob Austin, who started from mid-pack and quickly got to work. Kirby Gobble would be able to challenge Sykes in the early going, but as the race went on, Sykes gradually pulled away as Rob Austin gave chase to the 5. Lap traffic would aid Austin in his hunt, bringing him within a car length before a multi-lap side-by-side ensued, with Austin taking second in a race that saw Joey Sykes claim his first victory in 2025. Making up a previous race, our JB Auto Works Crown Victorious ended the night with a dominant performance from none other than our JB Auto Works crew of Tyler Conway and Brandon Bruner. The two would pull away from the 288 of Keith McMurray, with Conway leading, but Bruner would chase the 24 and eventually use the bumper to try to get by him in turn 1. But Conway held strong and took his second win of the season. Here are your full results for all divisions, and as always, thank you for supporting your local short track, and remember to like and subscribe.